Hey beautiful friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video that has been highly requested by you guys, which is super cool. Thank you for even being interested. This is a video that I had started to do a few months ago. I was saying that it was completely changing my life around. I shouldn't say completely, but I was changing my lifestyle around and I was really focusing on losing weight, and I was going to start to focus on doing the keto diet. And I have had a lot of you reach out to me and say, hey, what's going on? Were you successful with it? Do you have any tips for us? Are you still on it? Have you lost any weight? Did you have any side effects? So one, thank you for even reaching out. It really means so much to me. And I thought I would sit down. It has now been 3 months, so I thought I would sit down and do a check with you guys and let you know where I'm at, what I'm doing, what's working, what's not working, have I lost any weight, and what will I continue doing from here. If you guys are new here, hello, welcome. My name is Terryn. If you guys like anything to do with weight loss, if you guys like anything to do with Disney, lifestyle, makeup, then please make sure you give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below so you can definitely stay with me and follow me on my weight loss journey and all the other crazy things that we get up to around here. Alright, yes, so I have been on my new weight loss journey for about 3 months now. I believe the official start date for me was January 14th, and the current day is April 4th. So I've been doing this for a little while now. I definitely have learned a few things. I've learned what's worked for me, what doesn't work for me, and how I'm living my life currently and what I plan to do for the future. So right off the bat, let's get to it. Did I lose weight? Yes, I have. I've lost quite a bit of weight. Like most diets, let's be 100% transparent here, anytime you change your lifestyle, anytime you change the way you eat, whether it be good or bad, chances are you're going to lose weight pretty much right away, and it's going to be the most dramatic weight loss within the first week to 14 days. So I have been overweight for about the last 10 years now, and I have really wanted to figure out a way that's going to work for me to lose weight, that's going to be sustainable and something I can do going into the future. If you guys have not seen my first video, I will leave that linked up above and down below. You can go and check it out and find out my entire kind of health story. I mean, there's so much more in there that's not in that video, but it kind of gives you the background of it if you want to know what was going on with me. Really short end of it is I've been overweight for the last 10 years. Once I started having kids, I was going up and up and up. I yo-yoed for quite a while, started to come down, went on one of those restrictive weight loss services, lost a lot of weight, wasn't sustainable for me, gained a bunch of weight back plus more, and I've really had a hard time getting it off. I tried a bunch of other diets as well. Again, nothing really worked. And then a few months ago, I decided I was going to give keto a try. So when I started all this out, I'm not a person who's just going to do something. I do quite a bit of research in it. I do have a minor background in health and nutrition. My job, as far as my everyday life goes, I am a kinesiologist. I have a background in nutrition and personal training. I am actually a certified personal trainer as well. So I do have a small background in it, but it's nothing that I overly dive into. So when I decided to go keto, I thought, let's do some research and see exactly what I need to do and line this all up. I was able to find out my macros, so I was able to find out what percentage of carbs, fat, and protein that I need, and so I punched that all into the MyFitness app, and I was able to figure out everything from there. I also went on and I was able to find out what kind of foods that you really need to have every day to be keto and what kind of foods you shouldn't have as well, and I really started to dive into intermittent fasting as well. Again, I just looked at intermittent fasting. It wasn't something that I went into right away. So week 1, I went out, I purchased all my groceries, and I got everything that I needed for the week. I kind of meal planned in there as well. I got what I needed, came home, and I really started the next day. A lot of people will talk to you about the keto flu. Can I say I really had that? No, not really. I can say for the first few days that I did this, not necessarily the first day, but the second and third, I definitely did have a bit of brain fog going on. I was definitely a little on the woozy side, but other than that, I didn't have any significant problems. I started eating kind of a keto lifestyle, and I was honestly doing pretty good. When I started this, I was 203 pounds. Granted, there might be a little bit of discrepancy in there because I had weighed myself about a week before I actually started doing keto. I don't know why I didn't weigh myself again, but that's where I had started. Within the first week of eating keto, I instantly lost about 8 pounds. Amazing. So I was like, this is awesome. And for me, I have to say, I really didn't have any actual cravings. Again, if you guys watched that first video, you know I actually eat very well. I eat a lot of vegetables. I eat a pretty good amount of protein, and very low carbs. So for me, the fact that I was actually able to eat things like cheese and milk and sour cream and mayonnaise, like it was like crazy for me. So I started eating a lot of foods that were very much like that. I followed a very simple thing on Pinterest. I found some recipes, and like this was awesome for me. It was so cool. I was like, this is amazing. People are talking about how it's so hard to follow this. I'm like, this is like a treat for me, really. Once we got into week 2, again, I still didn't really follow intermittent fasting, although I was kind of doing the 3-meal-a-day thing. So I was doing my breakfast around 9 o'clock, I was doing my lunch at about 12:30, and then I was doing supper at about 6:30 to 7. So that's how I kind of at least started intermittent fasting, because I knew it was something that I wanted to work in there. I also started to drink like some of those energy drinks that they suggest you have when you are doing keto. So first thing in the morning, it's usually before you have your workout, you have this drink. There was one that I was using, and that's supposed to, one, help with your appetite and help with your energy. I started using this and it definitely did help with my energy. My energy was definitely boosted right away. You could really feel it. It was basically like a concentrated caffeine, and it really did help with my energy, especially those early mornings when I had to be at work. It was honestly awesome. The only thing I'm really going to say that I noticed significantly that I haven't really heard a whole lot of people talk about was my poop. So I actually started to get diarrhea kind of at the end of my first week into my second week. This was something that was kind of alarming. Now, I knew I was changing my diet around, so I knew that this is something that could happen, especially since I do have underlying stomach problems. So at first I wasn't too concerned, but once we started to reach like day 3 and 4 of it, I was like, okay, this might not be normal. So again, I started to do my research. I went to some books, I went to some videos, I talked to some doctors, and I found out that this is something that's actually very common, especially for people who do have underlying stomach issues. So for someone like me who is changing their diet and changing it to a higher fat diet, it is actually cleaning you out. It's basically detoxing your body. And if you do have something like this, then this type of lifestyle might be something you need to stick with more. Even though you are having these symptoms. You might not like these symptoms. I mean, who likes peeing out of their butt? However, after I did work through it, honestly, I felt great. I felt really detoxified. I felt like I had nothing really sticking inside of me, and the bloating that I was experiencing prior to this had almost completely gone. I went from having bloating problems on a very regular basis when I had pains and like I would have to lay down where you could physically see my stomach expanding to having almost nothing. It was fantastic. Once we got into week 3 of this is really where I started to notice an actual huge difference. My energy levels were up, I was sleeping a lot better, I was getting up a lot better, I was being far more productive at work. I felt like I was a lot more present in what I was doing. I have to say, as far as cognitively, this is really where I noticed a huge difference for me. After about a month of doing keto, I was down quite a bit of weight already. I really liked it for the most part, other than, some of the diarrhea symptoms. I was doing really good with it. We went away over the family holiday weekend, and I did cheat a little bit, but honestly, it was nothing significant, and I don't even consider it a cheat. I was away, it was a vacation. I really only had one bad meal a day, and I was still pretty active, so I wasn't worried about it at all. When we came home from vacation though, I kind of started to look at this and I was kind of concerned with some of the things that was going on with keto that weren't necessarily lining up with what I believe in. So I again started to do some research and I was trying to look at like a lot of more so dairy opposed to anything else. Meat a little bit too, but more so on the dairy side of things that I was putting into my body, but they weren't lining up with my own personal nutrition values. Again, I have a small background in health and nutrition, so some of the things that I was consuming, although I loved, and I'm not complaining about them, I didn't necessarily like that I was consuming them, and I did notice a bit of a difference. One of the things, for instance, is sour cream. I absolutely love sour cream and I could sit here and eat a tub of it. I could bathe in it really, but there's nothing really beneficial about sour cream either. And there are still other dioxides and whatnot in it that I don't particularly like. Same things with some of the other things I was eating, even certain cheeses. I wasn't really loving them as much. Also, because the type of person I am and because of how healthy I was eating, with keto, you're not really supposed to eat very much, or I don't want to say not any at all, but really not very much fruit. This I didn't really absolutely love either. Going along with some other vegetables as well, there's other vegetables that are more on the higher carb side, so you're really, again, you're supposed to limit them or not have them at all. Next big thing for me was actually the calorie counting. Let's be honest, I did do it for a good solid month and I have done it in the past, and although I do like journaling what I eat, I don't like having to answer to a calculator necessarily. This has led me into problems in the past, and I really felt like it was starting to lead me into some more problems presently. Also, again, I was doing my energy drinks in the morning and there were just, again, I'm very much a very natural eating person, so when things have a lot of crap in it, I don't like taking it. So I was taking one of these, I was drinking like these BCAAs, and although they don't have like a lot, like there's no actual like sugar in them, there are still, again, polysorbates, there's dioxides, and there are other sugars in them. Be it they're natural sugars, they are still sugars. So although they don't necessarily take you out of like a fasted state, they still do spike you up a little bit. And again, it just wasn't something that was lining up for me. So again, I went back and I was starting to, again, journal, see how I was feeling every single day, and I kind of went from there and decided to modify what I was doing. Among my research, I came across this wonderful, wonderful person who I felt like, oh my gosh, where have you been my entire life? Her name is Autumn Bates and she has a YouTube channel, she has a blog, she has an entire workout regimen. She is awesome. She is a person who I feel like, oh my gosh, like I needed you forever ago, where were you? When I listened to a lot of the things she was saying, plus the research she was doing, and she shows you the research, and again, I base a lot of what I do on research. Mind you, research is always changing, but there is always, you know, kind of a background to it, and just, again, eating normal and naturally. So I was watching Autumn, and honestly, a lot of what she was saying was just lining up for me. For instance, they have a lot of keto foods. Well, that's great, and honestly, having them every once in a while is absolutely no problem. Some of these keto foods are literally no better than any other foods. A big thing, whether it's be keto or just regular, is like granola bars or protein bars. Like, they just have things that are not good in them whatsoever. Even if they are marketed as healthy, they still have a lot of just like crap in it. There's basically a glorified chocolate bar. Another big thing that I was able to find out, which I mean honestly lines up with my life perfectly, is you shouldn't have to count calories. I mean, look at how many people over the years, over the hundreds of thousands of years that we've survived on Earth. I mean, we didn't used to have a phone with an app on it that we had to plug everything in and figure out, you know, our macros for the day, or figure out if we're over or under our calorie consumption. I mean, that just never happened. The only thing that's really changed over the last 100 years of food is how much sugar we're putting in food, how much processed sugar, how much natural sugar, how much just crap we're putting in our food. And so I really felt like this makes sense to me. Why am I counting calories? Why am I still hungry? and I'm not really losing weight because at this point I was starting to hit a bit of a plateau. So I did change the way I was eating a little bit, although it was still kind of on a keto basis. It did turn some things around for me, and this is really where I did start to notice a big difference, definitely as far as weight loss goes. One, I started to incorporate intermittent fasting 100%. And guys, I am not the person, like, I was starving in the morning. Every day for the past like 7 years, I've woken up and I've eaten breakfast, whether I'm drinking it, making it, whatever, I eat in the morning. So for me to be able to go into intermittent fasting and do it, honestly, it was awesome. It took me about a week to 2 weeks to get into it, and it was fantastic, and honestly, it's been life-changing for me. Second thing that I really started incorporating were a lot more seeds. So like hemp seed, flaxseed, chia seed are like 3 main staples. I did always used to have them around the house and I would throw them into my smoothies, but like now I know what they're there for. I know how to use them. Huge help for me, especially with my gut problems. It really does help clean everything out of there, and it's just awesome source of protein, and I can't say enough good things about seeds. So now after eating this way for about 2 months, I have again lost quite a bit of weight and I'm feeling so awesome. Again, my brain is pretty much good. I mean, as good as it can be for me, but my brain is functioning so much better. I'm exercising a lot more than I was before, and before when I used to exercise, I noticed afterwards I was tired, and most people are like, oh, I exercise and I feel great and I'm energized, whereas me, I would exercise and I was tired, and I was like, I'm doing something wrong. But now when I exercise, I do have that. I do feel better afterwards, and I have the energy to get me throughout the day. I find I'm just being a better person, and I literally feel lighter. Like, there's no other way to explain it other than I actually feel lighter on the outside and on the inside. Also, I have to say, my skin. I've never really had huge problems with my skin, but I definitely have less breakouts, and on my arms, because I do suffer from folliculitis. Although granted, I do think that is more of also like more of a dermatitis problem as well, like a contact dermatitis. Since I've been eating this way, when I wake up in the morning, my folliculitis is like basically not there at all, other than maybe a few bumps by the end of the day after wearing clothes, after rubbing up against things. It does come back, but in the morning, like, it's like gone. So, all this rambling on, it's been 2-3 months now. What's going on? Have I lost weight? Yes, you guys, I've definitely lost weight. Like I said, when I started this process, I was approximately 203 pounds. As of today's date, April 4th, I have lost 28 pounds. I'm down to 175. 175.1 if you want to be exact, but that's where I am as of today's date, and it's honestly pretty amazing. The good thing about this, because some people might be saying, what the heck, like I've lost that much in a month. Good thing about losing weight in stages is actually it means your body is losing weight properly. When you do something like a semi-starvation diet or a fad diet, whatever, and you lose all this weight at once, okay, cool, you lost all the weight, but chances are your body is going to be starving and to be craving that insulin, which is just your body's quickest way of getting any type of energy, and you're going to gain the weight back a lot faster and again, go over your threshold again. So I'm happy that I am consistently losing weight, and I've been doing really good at it, and I've been feeling so good. Next thing is with the picture. I have this before and after picture as of right now. You can definitely tell a huge difference, especially in my back fat. My back fat isn't quite as bad as it used to be. So I am, again, this is an actual visual for you. This isn't just me saying numbers on a scale. This is again showing that I am losing weight. Now again, you can't go 100% by the scale because, I mean, there is also muscle gain as well. I have been working out, especially over the last 2 weeks. I've really upped my workout game. And again, I've been feeling better because of it. So I could have potentially lost more weight than that, but you can't tell 100% because of the scale. But with that being said, I mean, it's definitely not like, oh, I actually weigh 120 pounds, but the scale's coming up at 175 because, you know, that's just where it's at. I mean, that's not possible either. So if you are able to go and actually measure your body fat, that's awesome as well. Definitely go and try to do that. Am I still keto? I'm gonna go with no. I'm going to say again, I still very much, the way I'm eating is very much in line with keto. I am still intermittent fasting. I do a 16-hour window. Every once in a while I will do a 20-hour window just to kind of smooth out my insulin, especially if I did have a cheat or treat beforehand. So I will try to go a little bit farther in between the next day. But overall, am I still keto? This really comes down to what you believe is keto. If you were to follow the actual definition of what keto is, I would say no. When you are keto, you are supposed to track your macros, you are supposed to input your food, you're supposed to find out where you are on the scale and adjust if you need to. Again, I just don't believe in this. I just don't think we've gone hundreds of thousands of years by putting our food into this log and tracking it. Tracking food never really seems to work, at least long term. If you guys follow The Biggest Loser, they had a lawsuit a few years ago because they were actually affecting how people were eating, putting them on the semi-starvation diet, and was really affecting their hormones to a point where their hormones actually weren't able to balance out again, and they put the weight back on. Granted, I'm sure there is a psychological side to that as well, but it is something that has been proven time and time again that tracking isn't going to exactly help you out long term. Another big thing that I just couldn't fall into either is having low to no fruits and even certain vegetables, such as like certain colored peppers, carrots, or tomatoes. Now again, you do still have to watch how much you eat of everything, but if it's, you know, coming from nature, if it's natural, if it's organic, whatever, put it in you. If you guys follow me on Instagram, almost every single day I will post what I am breaking my fast with. Break fast breakfast, and it usually has some type of vegetable, or excuse me, some type of fruit in it, whether it be half a banana, half a cup full of berries, whatever it is. I do typically have some type of fruit, and I am still constantly losing weight, so this is obviously something that you can keep doing. Same with vegetables. Again, I was really a big fan of carrots, so the fact that I had to basically cut carrots out, it just wasn't sustainable for me. So I'm able to still eat carrots, tomatoes, peppers, and not really worry about it. The biggest thing that I have found, which has just blown me away and honestly has like helped me out so much, is eating until I am satiated or eating until I am full. Whenever I was on a calorie restrictive diet, I was hungry. I was hungry all the time, and literally all I could think about is when am I going to get my next meal? So like doing something like this where I'm eating 3 meals a day, I typically don't have a snack in between. You can if you want to, I just personally don't. And I eat until I am full is amazing. My stomach feels great, my body feels great, I wake up feeling great the next day. Everything about it has been so awesome. Another thing that's really helped me out as well, I did replace the BCAAs with a keto coffee in the morning. Now, again, a few months ago if you said, Terryn, you're gonna drink coffee, I'd be like, no. I tried keto coffee and I love it. So I am just taking a coffee, I'm just using a Starbucks brand. You can use whatever you want. Preferably mold-free is actually best. It is hard to find a mold-free coffee around here, I'm not gonna lie, but they are out there. I could just honestly look harder. So for me, I am just using my own coffee. I am brewing it like normal. I put it in the blender. I add 1 tablespoon of grass-fed butter and 1 tablespoon of organic coconut fat. Blend it all up for about 30 seconds to a minute. Pour it out. It is so frothy. It is so good and so satisfying. I absolutely love it. Again, some of you might be saying, well, Terryn, if you're intermittent fasting, you can't have a keto coffee. And the fact is, it depends on what you're using keto coffee for. If you are doing an intermittent fasting and you are doing like strictly no food fasting and you have a keto coffee with this stuff in it, then yes, it will break your fast. But because it has fats in it and my body is using fat for fuel right now when I have my keto coffee, it's not actually breaking my fast. It's only using up the energy of fat. It's only using up the fat as energy, and I'm able to go that little bit longer. So I'm able to get my 16, 19, or 20 hours depending, and it's not breaking my fast. So altogether, I am honestly very happy that I made this lifestyle change. It is working for me really well right now. I mean, who knows, in the future it might not be. I might have to change things up again, but really I'm very, very happy with it. I can't really say I'm having a cheat or treat meal that often. I mean, in the end, if I'm absolutely craving something, I'll figure out, one, why am I absolutely craving something? Did I not eat enough? Did I not get enough either protein, fat, or fiber while I was eating? I try to figure out what I need to do to modify. But I mean, a few nights ago, I wanted spaghetti for dinner, so we had spaghetti for dinner. And you know what? I just did a longer fast the next day and I got right back into it. There's nothing wrong with having a treat. There is an emotional side to food that we still need to connect to. But as long as you stay within your goals and you stay on track, there's no reason you can't have that meal that you're absolutely craving every once in a while. So I am feeling great. This is really helping me. I hope this video is helpful for you guys as well. If you want to know more or have any more questions for me, please leave them down below. I will definitely do another video like this in a few months, let you know where I'm at. If you guys have something that works for you that you don't necessarily agree with what I just currently said, I mean, everybody's different. Let's absolutely remember that. Again, there's a whole science side to this that I did not get into. Again, maybe I will in the future with another video. Let me know if you guys want that down below. But like, everybody has their own thing. Everybody has their own path. I have a lot of friends who are on keto and swear by it and it's working great for them. I have other friends who count calories and that works great for them. I have other friends who just eat whatever they want and they're doing great too. I am not food shaming anybody by absolutely any means. You guys do what works for you. This is what's working for me. I'm really, really happy with it. If you guys sound like me, like you've had this problem and you're looking for something, let me know down below. You guys are not alone. We are all in this together. And definitely make sure you go check out Autumn's page as well because she's fantastic. She has literally given me answers that I paid a lot of money for and no one gave me a freaking answer, and I feel like I have them now, and I look at the science a lot different. I look at my body a lot different now, and I just feel like that's what people need to do. And no shaming. You do what works for you, and just feel good. Like, life is about feeling good, and I'm feeling really great right now. Alright, my beautiful friends, leave any comments, questions, concerns down below. I will definitely get back to you. Let me know if you want another video like this. Let me know if you found this one helpful. Give me a thumbs up. Other than that, this is completely a long video. I hope you stuck with me. That's all I have to say. I'm just dragging on now. Alright guys, that does it for me today. No matter what you're doing, I hope you're having an absolutely magical day, and I will talk to you all real soon. Bye.